Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here for wearechange.org, and today we're going to go over the latest revelations in this FBI texting/sexting scandal. You see, these texts are from an FBI agent and his mistress, and they are extremely revealing from what we know so far. Now let's be clear, none of these texts have been made public, and we're relying mostly by hearsay of members of Congress and Senate. However, what they're telling is quite extraordinary. First of all, the assertion that 5 months of this man's texts have been lost and that they cannot be found is absolutely absurd. We know that the National Security Agency collects all digital communications, so if this were actually the case, they could easily obtain those text messages if they wanted to. However, all the evidence leads to the fact that they don't want to. Number one, the text seemed to indicate it was a foregone conclusion that Clinton would not be prosecuted, and this had been decided long before the investigation was complete. Another startling revelation is that only 2 days after the Russian probe began, this man basically said there was nothing to it and began discussing deleting his text messages. But perhaps the most startling revelation of all is that there may be a secret society within the FBI working against the Trump administration. Now, however fantastic this sounds, it was alluded to in a text right after the election. Now, Representative Gowdy went on Fox News early in the morning and discussed this.
What's also troubling to me is this text that Johnny Ratcliffe found last night about this secret society. Now, I have no clue what that means because that was not the phraseology I used, but it's the day after the election, and it's the same two people that were discussing a little bit later in the text the damage they had done with the Clinton investigation and how they could, quote, fix it.
And later on, Representative Ratcliffe joined him in expanding on the matter.
We learned today about information that in the immediate aftermath of his election, that there may have been a secret society of folks within the Department of Justice and the FBI, to include Page and Strzok, that would be working against him. I'm not saying that actually happened, but when folks speak in those terms, they need to come forward to explain the context with which they use those terms.
Senator Johnson then took to television and said that they had an informant that has confirmed that indeed meetings of this secret society have taken place.
What this is all about is further evidence of corruption, more than bias, but corruption at the highest levels of the FBI and that secret society. We have an informant that's talking about a group that were holding secret meetings off-site.
Now let me be clear. I don't think this is a secret society with occultic backgrounds such as the Illuminati or the Bohemian Grove or even Skull and Bones. However, history has shown us that high-level officials in the FBI, in the NSA, and in the Central Intelligence Agency indeed were members of these collegiate organizations. Some Book and Snake, some Scroll and Key, and yes, some Skull and Bones. But this does not strike me to have an occult tone. Instead, this is a bunch of people that truly did not want to see Trump elected and worked in their interests behind the scenes to try to make sure that that did not occur. And when it did, tried to overthrow him. This channel has never been a cheerleader for the Trump administration. However, when the evidence is so overwhelming that elements in the FBI not only didn't want to see Trump elected, but worked in their interests afterwards to try to take that election away from him, we have to report on it. And as always, if you like this video, please share it on social media. Follow me on Twitter @JasonBermas. Hit that like and subscribe button, and please go to wearechange.org. Make that donation. It's only through your financial support that reports like this one are possible.